So today I'm going to talk about something that used to exist in the hobby. I take you down memory lane, okay? So if you guys remember, one of the biggest companies in the world used to have a fish department. I'm not talking about the big chain stores like PetSmart or Petco. I'm not talking about any of those chain stores. I'm talking about the big one. And since I'm going to say some very critical things, I'm not really going to say the name, but it was a mart. It was one of the biggest marts in the world, and they had fish tanks in their back section, far away from the grocery section. And they, and for years, like 5, 10, 15 years, they were selling fish in their stores, even though they were a grocery store. It makes no sense that they wouldn't have the capabilities of doing it. They were big enough to do it. They were, one of the biggest companies on the planet. They should be able to do it. And all it takes, guys, to run a fish store, every fish store I've ever been to, it only takes one, two, at most I've ever seen three people. Even the bigger chain stores, they have one person in a department for it. Maybe, and maybe even that. And they're still managing to do this. They still manage this better. I sometimes say bad things about the chain stores, critical things, but you know what? They do better. Some of those people, they're good people. They know a lot about the hobby. But the fact that, back then you'd go to this grocery store, not one person knew anything about fish for the most part. Again, maybe there was a fish expert in one of these stores back then, but I highly doubt it. They pushed them out as quick as they could, and they had always a rotting smell. All the stores in my area, I used to love going there, but I know they weren't capable of doing this right. And that smell, if you ever remember that fishy smell, it would come from the decomposing bodies. I remember seeing 10, 20, 100, 200 fish dead at any given time. Nobody there to help anybody out. Like, you could wait an hour just to try to buy a beta or buy anything. And even then, maybe you wouldn't want to because everything would be dead half the time. It was a bad setup, and I'm so glad it's gone.